In Grimm Fairy Tales, we find Cinderella as she's cutting the throat of Nox. Now, the problem is they were looking for Hades, and this girl Nox just happened to be their only lead. Now, Venus grabs Cindy by the neck as she tells her, "What the fuck? You killed Nox before we could even get a lead on Hades." But Cindy swats her hand aside while telling her all that stand behind the last living god will pay with their lives. Now, Venus is like, "Okay, bitch, no one here needs to witness that statement. Besides, the Dark Queen will have your head for this." When the Dark Queen hears about this, she's pissed off at fucking Cinderella for doing this again. Now, the Dark Queen knows Cindy is a good assassin, but she also knows that one of the main reasons she got a spot in the Horde is because the Dark One has a thing for blondes with perky breasts. But elsewhere, as the world is burning all around her, we find a little spot of paradiso as Morgana is being tended to by her subjects. But as one of her subjects brings her some more fruit, little does she know Hades has also found a little slice of paradise as he's come to kill Morgana. Morgana tells her servants to mobilize as they have an intruder. But in a violent burst of light, Hades blows all her servants back. Hades then grabs a blade and grabs Morgana by the neck as he prepares to end her life. But elsewhere, Cinderella's in a cell thinking back when she was younger, torturing bitches for fun before she met Malik the Dark One, as he showed her there was so much more fun to life. But then the Dark Queen came and she changed everything, and to make matters worse, she brought her own group of bad bitches with her. Cinderella fantasizes about being with Malik while telling him he's the Dark One, so he needs to kill the Dark Queen and reclaim his throne. And while he's at it, he needs to also kill Venus, the Winter Witch, and the Fairy Demon. But Cinderella would get an unlikely visitor in the form of the Dark Queen. Meanwhile, as Hades is about to kill Morgana, she manages to materialize in the smoke and evade the killing blow. Hades shoots a beam of dark energy at Morgana as he's pissed off with her for colluding with the Dark Queen. But as Morgana manages to repel the attack, she tells Hades that his loved ones were not killed because of her. The Dark Queen sent the man with no face, and he's the one that slew Hades' loved ones. Morgana and Hades would stop fighting, at least for a moment, as she promises she can put him in front of the Dark Queen. Meanwhile, instead of killing Cinderella on the spot, the Dark Queen gives her a mission. Cinderella would first visit the Tooth Fairy demon, where she would retrieve a powerful blade that was carved from the bones of a powerful vampire. But the Tooth Fairy tells her to just flee, as the Dark Queen is going to kill her when she inevitably fails. Cinderella would next receive an ice wand from the Winter Witch, as she tells her it could simply freeze beings of low power, while it will only slow Hades down. The Winter Witch gives her the wand, but she tells her if she's smart, she'd just flee before the Dark Queen has her head. Cinderella next goes to visit Venus, where she comments, "How would the Dark Queen like it if she sees you being worshipped like you were her?" But Venus pays her no mind as she beckons her to the back, as she has a powerful weapon for her. Venus would give her a powerful scepter, a scepter that was wielded by Hades himself. As the story goes, Hades used this scepter to kill his own army. But as Cinderella gets ready to depart, one of the subjects makes a comment that she'd be better off just taking the scepter and running. Meanwhile, back in Paradiso, Morgana will whip Hades up a magical brew. This brew is meant to act as a portal to take Hades where he wants to go. But Morgana knows that Hades wants to come back and kill her, so Morgana would ask Hades, how does he know that he's not about to consume a goblet of poison? But Hades drinks the potion, as he says either way, he's kind of getting a version of what he wants. Meanwhile, Cinderella gets ready to depart. As she's gathered all three mystical weapons, now she prepares to go hunt down and kill Hades, or else she'll be sentenced to death by the Dark Queen. But before Cindy goes, she's confronted by Malik the Dark One. Malik asks to have a word, but Cindy says she's kind of on a clock. Malik tells her there was a time when she would do anything for him. But Cindy says there was also a time where he wouldn't let that queen bitch sentence her to death. Malik starts to slap the shit out of Cindy, but he decides not to. Malik tells Cindy that if she were to kill Hades in his name, he would make her an even better offer. Malik would gift her any realm of her choosing, and Cinderella has always been fond of Wonderland. As Malik returns to the Dark Queen, she asks where he's been, but he tells her that he was seeing Cindy off, making sure she goes on her mission. The Dark Queen tells him that the Bandersnatch has appeared outside of LA and she wants to capture him. Meanwhile, several creatures flee as fiery cracks form around the concrete and Hades emerges, ready to kick some ass. To be continued.